Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tally Sam. I hope you guys have been great. I am now in Busan, South Korea. It's so nice to be here, and I've been here for about 8 months. I think 8 months now, since February, and now it's November. So it's just been a really nice experience, and I really hope you guys enjoyed my videos and you got to watch the process of me getting here. And thank you so much for all the love in the comment section and in the DMs. But actually, I've been getting a lot of DMs as well about like the interview questions that I received and the process and the lesson plan. So I really wanted to come back on to YouTube and help you guys with this, because it's really a crucial process and it's really a crucial thing that you need to do. So I wanted to go through in this video some of the questions that I received, and then also other questions that other people received. So hopefully this could help you guys kind of know what you should you can prepare for and what could be coming your way. Okay, so let's get straight to it. Okay, so for me, my interview, if you watched my previous video, my interview was like at 1 a.m. UK time, and yeah, at that time I was just like sleeping, but I was like, I have to just keep going on. So one of the first questions they asked me was, why do you want to apply for this role? And so this is one of the questions they asked me, and it's kind of like one of those questions they ask you in a job interview, right? Even just like any job interview, like, why do you want this role? So with this question, I answered that I wanted to have a new experience, and I really love teaching because in the past I was a teacher. So I really enjoy teaching, and I want to help other students. I want to learn a new language, have a new experience, and I really love Korea because I've been to Korea many times before. So it's like I really like Korea, and I also like teaching, so both of them go hand in hand for this role. But depending on you guys and your experience and everything, you can decide on how you could answer this question. So why do you want to apply for this role? Okay, so another question that I received is, what do you know about EPIK? Now this question right here, it threw me off because I was like, I feel like I didn't do enough research about EPIK, and in my previous video I kind of talked about this, like I didn't do enough research about EPIK, so I was just like, I don't know. It's like I just knew a little bit, but I didn't do that intense research where it's like, well, like the background about EPIK. But all I just said is like, I know is that it stands for the English Program in Korea, and that it's been running for many years, and it's that kind of thing is what I said. But obviously maybe a more detailed answer will be really good. But yeah, this is one of the questions I also received. So what do you know about EPIK? How would you guys answer that question? I would like to know in the comment section like how you guys would want to answer that kind of thing. But yeah, that was also another one. That's also another question they ask you even in normal interviews, right? Like, what do you know about our company? So it's also a good one to know. And another question they asked me is, would you be open in working in a rural area? So this question, I said yes, because I didn't want to seem like, not open, and I didn't want to seem like I'm fussy. So I just said yes. But deep down, I was like, no, I don't want to work in a rural area. At that time as well, I had put my location preference to be Seoul, because I was thinking, I think if I go to Seoul, it'll be nice, because even though I've been to Korea, I've been to Korea 3 times before that, but I just felt like if I was in Seoul, it's like the capital, there's loads of people and many foreigners, so I felt like it would be a bit more, I'll feel more safe. But actually getting into Seoul, as you probably have heard millions of times, or I don't know if you've heard, it's quite hard to get into Seoul. But at that time when I did the interview, I said that I wanted to go to Seoul. But the question that they asked me was if I would be open in working in a rural area, and I said yes, because that is one of the things with EPIK, that you can be placed anywhere. So even if you put Seoul, if you put Busan or anything, you can get placed anywhere depending on the need that they have. So yeah, it's one of the things that comes with this job that's like, you don't know if you will get your location preference. But in the interview I said yes, I would be happy, I wouldn't mind. But deep down like, I don't want to. But yeah, these are the questions that I received. And also another one was about like cultural differences. So like, because I'll be working with, they said, so you'll be working with other Korean colleagues. If you were to face like cultural challenges and shocks, how would you deal with it? So I said I would come with an open mind and I'll try to understand the culture. So I know that I'm coming from one culture and Korea is another culture. So when situations arise and like misunderstandings happen, I'll try to talk about it with my colleagues, and I'll try to also understand that I might not be like, like we come from two different cultures, so it's hard to kind of we come from two different cultures, so like the way we see things might be different, So I tried to say that I'd come with an open mind. And it's true, like you need to come with an open mind, because the way you think, the way you do things, it's not how they would do it in Korea all the time. Not everything, but I'm saying like the specific things. So I feel like these are the type of questions that they would ask you, like about how you deal with like cultural challenges, shocks, and also if you're homesick, how would you deal with that? They didn't ask me this question, but this is also another question they could ask you, like if you're homesick, how would you deal with that? And think about it, how would you deal with being homesick? I said this is also something I said in my application, because it's like cultural shock section. I said that I would like be if I was homesick, I would try find maybe like groups where I can connect with other foreigners, and I would like try and connect with maybe other foreigners from the UK and make friends, so that we can like, you can kind of have people you can talk to and be accountable to, and also you're going through the same process and maybe the same feelings, so that would help. And also like try and stay in contact with my family back home as much as I can, and that kind of thing. It's something you could say as well. So these are the questions that I was asked. So so it was, what do you know about EPIK? Why do you want to apply for this role? What type of if you were to face cultural challenges and shocks, how would you deal with it? So these are the type of questions that I received. So for me to prepare for the interview, I used other videos on YouTube, and I'm so grateful for the creators because it really helped me to see what we were going to like, what kind of things they would ask me. And also because I went with Corvia, I was in the Corvia group chat. So at that time, many people would be sending in like, oh, like this is the type of questions they asked me, and this is the type of questions they could ask you. So I really recommend, like I said in my other videos, to go with a recruiter, because it has so many benefits, because other people are like going through the same process. So the questions that they were asked in the interview, they could share it with you in the group chat, and through that you can prepare for your interview as well. So I really recommend going with a recruiter. Okay, so using other videos and other resources that help me to prepare for the interview, questions that you could be asked is, what is your motivation for wanting to teach with EPIK? So this is quite similar with maybe, why do you want this role? But it's like, why would you want to teach? So one of the things that I would have prepared is, I've always valued education, and I believe EPIK has a strong value for education. So this is like one of the things that you could answer to this question. Maybe another one would be, why do you want to teach English in Korea? It's true. Why Korea? Why not China? Why not Japan? So with this question, how would you answer that? And one of the things is that I would say is, I've I've read many articles that Korea has one of the best education systems in the world and is also one of the best places to teach English. And I have a genuine interest in learning the Korean language, and I think teaching English in Korea will be a perfect exchange of languages and cultures. So this is maybe an answer that you could give to this question. Another one is, what is your teaching philosophy? So this is like, how do you teach? So what is your methodology? How would you say you teach? So one of the things I said is, that I would say is to be adaptable and flexible to the needs of my students as much as possible. So to always be able to adapt my lessons, that's what I think my methodology would be. And so this means that my teaching method and presentation will always change depending on the students. So yeah, being an adaptable teacher is basically what I would have said about like my teaching methodology, being quite open-minded and ready to change the way I teach. Another one could be, how would you handle co-teaching? Now this is really an important one, because your co-teacher is literally the teacher that you're working the most closest with. Well, teachers, because it could be more than one. So it's like the teachers you work most closely with. So how would you handle co-teaching? So you could say like, co-teaching is not a joint effort. It's not just me. So I'll approach my co-teacher with understanding and an open mind, which I hope they will do the same as me, for me as well. Lastly, I think it's important to view the situation as a privilege and opportunity to learn and grow with another person. So, and also I would say, if I had conflicts with my co-teacher, I would talk about it between me and my co-teacher and try and resolve that conflict as soon as possible. So this is how you could handle co-teaching. And also I will talk to my co-teacher about the type of how, like the teaching styles, because everyone has a different teaching style, right? So I would want to talk to the co-teacher about the teaching styles that she has or he has and I have, and how we can work together to create a good classroom environment. And lastly, another question they could ask is, why do you think you're a good fit for this position at EPIK? These type of questions always like kind of put you off, because you're like, oh. So I would say I would be a good fit for EPIK because the values and standards I hold for myself are the same values and standards that EPIK holds for their students. EPIK's overall goal is to improve the language skills of their students whilst growing and learning another culture. I also value providing a meaningful and lasting education for my future students. I believe as a teacher, I have the power and responsibility to shape my students into individuals that are excited to learn and have goals for themselves, and also be kind to others while they're achieving their goals. That's the standard EPIK has for their teachers, and that's the same standard I have for myself. It sounds like such a book, like a book answer, but you know, like, I hope that these questions really helped you guys to kind of have a roundabout of what you could be asked. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the teaching part, because this is another part where they will ask you to teach. So either they'll ask you to teach your lesson plan, or they'll give you like a topic to teach and you have to teach it, such as shapes, or it could be anything. But they would give you time to like prepare for that. So it's not like it's just like go, but it's like, okay, this is what you will teach, now prepare for it. And then you have to prepare quickly and then teach it. So that is really an important part. And I feel like in my previous video, I said that this is the part I think that really saved me, because I felt like I really didn't do well in the answering the questions, because I was so nervous and I just felt like I didn't really answer properly. But the teaching part is the part I felt like, okay, I can, I feel like I have confidence in this part. So I was like, okay, this is like the last part and I need to do well in this part. So yeah, so I really recommend that you practice for the teaching part. So some of the tips that I would recommend is speaking slowly. It's so easy to speak fast because we're native speakers, right? So you just want to speak fast and just share your mind and just quickly get over and done with. But they're looking at how you would teach. So you really have to speak slowly because the students that we're teaching are learning English. They're not like us where they grew up listening and hearing the language. So you have to speak slowly. So one of the things I'd recommend is speaking slowly and clearly and using simple language, not using hard words or words that someone wouldn't understand, by speaking slowly. Like, so for example, if I was to teach shapes, okay, so this is a rectangle. Everyone say rectangle. Rectangle. This is a square. Everyone say square. Square. So like this, like speaking slowly. And this would be for elementary because elementary are still learning the basics of English. For middle school, it will be a bit different. I teach middle school, so maybe my pace would be a bit more fast and I would use a bit more words. But for elementary especially, you would really speak slowly. For my one, they made me teach my lesson plan, which was good. So I didn't have to prepare a lot. I hope that this video was helpful for you guys, and if you guys are still haven't done your TEFL and are looking for a place to do your TEFL, I would recommend doing it with ITTT, so I and 3 T's, ITTT. Also, you can get a discount when you do it with ITT, as I have a partnership with them, so you'll be able to get 10% off the 10% off the whole price. And ITT, I really recommend ITTT because they are in 2021 they were the best TEFL provider, and they're awarded as the best TEFL provider. So I really recommend that you do a score with them. And they have different ones like 120 hours to 150 hours to 220 hours. But the one that I would recommend for you to do for teaching in Korea is 120 hours. And depending on where you are based in the world, you can also have in-class lessons. Please look at the link below and sign up for ITTT. And hopefully, you guys can get your TEFL with them. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video. It's such a long video, but I really hope that this video was so helpful and you guys could get all the information that you needed. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section, and also you could ask me through DMs on Instagram. I look forward to seeing you guys again in my next video. So goodbye. Nya.